Hey there, welcome back if you've been watching for a while, and welcome if it's your first time watching. Yeah, I'm JB. This is our farm YouTube channel. So where are we up to? Yeah, new guy Tony started yesterday. First day's going well. Yeah, we've actually a bit close. We've actually got into the shearing shed yesterday, pulled this wall out, or Tony did, and yeah, we've essentially just got to extend it out. We've got about 3 meters here between the two sheds, so we've just got to extend it out, bring the board out here so we can put another shearing stand in, and then extend out the pens at the back. So we've obviously got somewhere for the sheep to go for catching and that sort of stuff. We've also got to extend the roof across. Yeah, so there's a bit of work to do. Time is the essence as usual. We're sort of battling time. We're supposed to be shearing last week we're into February, last week of this month, but I need to get on the shear and just see whether we can put him back a week, because I'm actually away that week, coincidentally. Yeah, we got into the pressing the hay up out the back. For those of you who've been watching along, I got a bit of a lesson the other night in pressing hay, and yeah, look, just the way the dew came in, the moisture was all right in the hay once it was in a bale, but the clover stalks were like wire rope. Yeah, and it took about 3 hours to do 50 bales. I blocked the baler badly a couple of times and had to drop the floor out, and yeah, not a lot of fun in the dark. So that was night before last. So yeah, we sort of, it was midnight. I sort of pulled that was enough. So yeah, Brennan went back out yesterday morning, and just in the sort of heat of the day a bit better. Still had dew on it yesterday morning, but got it pressed up. And good morning, little dog. How are you? And yeah, so we pressed about 200 bales, which filled the shed out there, and some. And yeah, so we're gonna take the round baler out this morning and roll the balance up out of the road. Yeah, so I'm just heading to town now for some AdBlue. Yeah, now that we've got 2 tractors running on AdBlue now, so we'll just take I'm not too sure whether they'll let me fill that up out of the Bowser or where I'm going. They've got AdBlue in the 200 litre drum, so I may just have to get a replacement drum, which is no biggie. Yeah, so no, we're just, yeah, plenty happening as per usual. We're just waiting on some chemical to be delivered today for more fallow spraying. We've still got straw to cart in, still got gear to wash up and get back in the shed. So yeah, we'll get into town and get back and get into it. Righto, the day is yeah, pretty much rolled along to plan. So the guys got finished pressing the hay. We've got the shed all bar full. It's on the to-do list. This shed's got just with a bit of age, it's lost a few sheets of tin, so we're just gonna probably over the winter, hopefully we'll just replace the tin. And then yeah, the guys rolled up, Brendan came out and rolled up the last of what we had there, just because it wasn't going to fit in the shed, so the rolls sort of deal a bit better with the weather. Yeah, and it hasn't rolled up too badly actually. Yeah, so Tony and I worked on the shearing shed most of the day, and Tommy was on burr patrol this morning. And I was gonna, I can't see one. I was gonna, it's on the last video, I told you I'd show you these burrs that we're trying to get on top of around the place, but just when you want one, there's not one around. Anyway, that's all right. Yeah, Tommy did a bit of burr patrolling this morning, and then he hopped back on the big tractor with the multi-disc and did a bit more canola stubble. Yeah, so which was sort of let's go around the seatbelt. Yeah, we're sort of getting, starting to get things organised for winter cropping. I'm going to do a bit more spraying in the morning. Yeah, just some of these stubbles. What else? Pretty good progress on the shearing shed. We got all the holes dug for the posts we've got to put in. Got all the steel ordered, or the fair bulk of it anyway. And I'll just we're not too sure what we're doing with the flooring yet. Just doing a bit of homework on, there's some composite products now that are, reclaimed recycled plastic and fiberglass and that sort of stuff, where the battens go, where the sheep stand before they get shorn. You need to have gaps between them, so if the sheep are still weeing and pooing, they're not standing in it, it falls through the floor. That's why you've got that gap between the grates. But there are a few products now that have been made for different stuff, but have sort of been adapted into shearing sheds too, which work pretty well. So I just need to make a couple of phone calls on that. The timber is accessible, but yeah, there's a bit of work in it too, in laying it, whereas the composite type product, it comes in big sheets and you can just lay it down, a 3 metre by 1500 wide sheet, and you could, a couple of hours you could have it laid, whereas opposed to a day or something better to get to put the timber battens down. So anyway, we'll just need to suss that out. I might have to go to Melbourne to pick it up, would be the only trick. So, but no, rock along pretty well. We'll Brendan's got to go cutting a bit of hay in the morning on the contract side of things. So yeah, Tommy will start and stack a bit of the straw up, and there's more multi-disking to do out here. So yeah, we'll get back home, we'll have a look at this shearing shed and just show you what we're up to. Quick shed update. So we'll have we're going to have a walkway down here. It'll be about 800mm wide, so you can get to the back of the shed from the front. You haven't got to walk through the shed to get out the back when we need to get sheep in. So we'll run some 1/5, going to run obviously posts where the holes are. We'll run some 150 RHS bearers across, and then we'll just work out what we're going to do with whether we run other bearers, whatever the technical name is. But yeah, this is the grading I was just talking about there before, that's got the gap for it, and well, you can see on the ground the poo on the ground. But yeah, it just allows the stuff to fall through it. So they're hardwood, which is, you can get it, but it's got to be cut, which is no big deal. So whether we can get it locally, so whether we just, for the area is about 3 metres by 12 metres roughly. So whether we get it for that, and if we were doing a new shed or redoing the shed, you'd probably consider going to the composite material. I got a bit here that I sort of went to town and got, and it's a similar, you'll get a bit of an idea with the profile. So this is actually plastic, which I didn't realise at the time. I got it from one of our local building suppliers in town, big green shed. Those of you in Australia who'll know who I'm talking about. And yeah, that's a 1200 by 400 I think panel. That's about $45 for that bit, so it's not cheap. So yeah, not sure whether that's the answer. That definitely isn't. We were just a bit worried, being plastic, that over time it might deteriorate. So yeah, we'll get a bit of the framework up, and it's not gonna, it's going to be probably next week, so we'll get a bit of the framework up and work out what we're doing and get some heights, and yeah, we can work out whether we're just going to get the timbers from half an hour up the road, or whether someone's got to go to Melbourne to get half a dozen sheets of this other stuff. So anyway, we'll see how it pans out. while we're talking the shearing shed, just thought I'd show you something that we've had made up, and I've stolen this idea from another farmer that we went and looked at last year. So it's basically just a jobs board, because there's now 3 employees here, and myself. We've just got this board made up for days of the week, and then everyone's got a line, myself included. And it's just, if I'm away, like Tom's away on Thursday, Tony's, they're gonna ear tag some ewes in the morning, Tommy's on bird patrol, Brendan's straw the next couple of days, yeah. And then I've just put up some farm maps for the boys so they can know what's got to go where, or if they're not 100% sure. So it probably just helps with communication, and in time, it's hard to put a full week's, just go and put a full week's work there, because it's, things change, breakdowns, yada yada yada, so things go wrong, and then you lose half a day. So, but it just gives the guys, if I'm not here or something like that, it gives them a bit of a chance to, they can just come out if they're looking for something to do and go, oh right, that needs doing, I can go and do that. So anyway, yeah, just thought I'd show you that in case, if cases are someone's in the same situation and trying to, bit of efficiency and organise things a bit better. Morning guys, just heading out to do a bit of spraying. I'm actually in the truck after seed grading. We've got a truckload of seed on board, so I'm just taking it out. We've got a spare silo out the other farm, and the bulk of where this wheat seed will be sown out there, so it'll be out there ready for sowing. And also the other ute, it went in for a roadworthy yesterday, a bit like exactly the same as with the truck the other day, if you were watching earlier on. And yeah, it's just, they found a few extra jobs on it that need doing, so they've kept it overnight. So we're a ute down today. Yeah, so the guys are going to come out and tag. Tony and young Tommy are going to come out and tag those dry ewes. Yeah, so they'll just need a vehicle. And yeah, Brendan's going to cut a bit of straw this morning, and while they're mucking around doing that, and then he'll go cutting hay. And yeah, I'm going to start and continue on with a bit of this spraying. So yeah, we'll get out there and get loaded up and get into it. So well into the spraying. Yeah, it's going to warm up today, so hopefully get a couple of loads out this morning. Still having trouble with this transmission pressure. I don't know if you can see that or not. The guys from Case came out and put a new sensor on the transmission. Apparently it's a bit of a common one for it failing, but it hasn't seemed to have fixed it. It's still pretty erratic, it's all over the place and going off a bit. So anywho, we'll just keep marching along, and hopefully it keeps behaving itself. Yeah. The spraying's all done for today. The boys have finished off tagging those dry ewes, and just moved a couple of the single bearing ewes just onto some lucerne. The ladies over the back there. So yeah, and I'm just running this bit of seed up the silo here for planting out of the road. That other silo's still got a bit of barley in it that we'll use for sheep feed in the coming months. We'll start to trail feed. Oh, we might not have to, it just depends what the weather does a bit. I think that's a bit pinched anyway. Yeah, hopefully the next, yeah, look, if we keep getting a bit of rain, the loose will keep ticking along, and we won't have to hopefully do a hell of a lot of trail feeding. But yeah, we'll just see with nutrition and that how the ewes are going. If they're sort of carrying good condition, we won't worry about it. But yeah, but I sort of reckon they might need a bit of a top up. We'll get a bit of an idea when we shear them off the board, just how they look, get their jackets off them. So yeah, anyway, about finished here, so no, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one, and yeah, take care.